Hey guys, WhytManga here with a new video, and in this video I'm going to be vectorizing the logo we created in the last video. And that was the Apple Black logo. For those who don't know, Apple Black is my comic, written and illustrated by me. You can read the first 3 chapters free online, actually the first 4, and you can get the volume 1 on Amazon, shipping internationally. And I'll leave links to that as well. Apple Black is published and serialized by Saturday AM, a digital magazine a la Shonen Jump. And you can check us out, check all our comics out. There's a free issue on the site that you can check out. Again, links to my social media, Saturday AM, Apple Black, anything you could possibly need in the description below. So here in this video, I'm just going to be taking the logo back into Photoshop, and I'm going to try to make turn everything in black and white, because it is difficult to put gradients into Illustrator, where the logo is supposed to be vectorized if there are gradients on it. So I'm just gonna make it turn everything black and white, because it's easier to do an image trace of the logo in Illustrator. So I'm just turning everything to black and white, leaving the outline, leaving the white outline at the edges, so it's really white and black. If your logo is already in black and white, for logos that have one color, just one flat color across, or just one gradient across, they're easier to vectorize. So you see here, I just dragged it in from outside the file once I changed it and turned it into some kind of silhouette, and then you do an image trace. And really, if I wanted the logo to look like this, which sometimes it could, then we'd be done. You know, the logos don't always have one uniform look throughout. But look at Dragon Ball Z, look at Walking Dead. You see The Walking Dead, each season the logo keeps deteriorating, similar to the zombies. So this is something that you can tie back into your story somehow. For here, Apple Black, most of what I care about is the silhouette. So sometimes the color might change from a blue to a red or yellow, depending on my mood or depending on the theme of what's going on in the book or in that volume or whatever. Similar to, say, One Punch Man, how the colors keep changing. And here, once I did the image trace, I hit expand, and this allows me to play around with the gradient. So I changed the color there to a gradient, and as you can see, it was doing some, pretty funny stuff. It has this gradient similar to how the Naruto looks, but that's not what we're going for. I'm trying to get a uniform gradient from black at the bottom to the apple at the top, and I'll do a different thing if I was trying to vectorize the Apple Black logo that has the apple and the black side by side for a spine. So the spine version of the logo. I've talked about this in my logo video. I talked about this in the video of me creating this Apple Black logo from scratch so people could see. I'll leave links to those videos as well. Now here, this is again an observational tutorial. The thing is that most of you don't have Illustrator anyway, but this is a good video for you guys to kind of backtrack to if you're interested in this kind of stuff. And so to create logos, vectorizing logos, you need to know what a vector file is, raster file is. Again, I kind of covered this a little bit in the previous videos on logos, and you can see it's very similar. The idea is very similar. I'll have to do is change the colors from that black and white grayscale thing to the red and yellow with the Naruto logos. So that's just giving you an example of what I could do, but that's not what I want to do in this video. So, not being an Illustrator aficionado myself, there was a lot of trial and error. But if you're interested, you can just kind of follow me as an observational tutorial. See here, the problem is when I put the gradient in, it's kind of doing a gradient for each letter, but I want the gradient I was trying to figure out how to get the gradient to go from bottom to top. Now the idea here, the reason why I'm doing all of this is with vector files, you kind of want all your logo stuff to be vector. Your logos, your icons, anything that will be reused a lot brand wise to be vector, so that way when you want to, you can come to Illustrator and blow it up and it's not going to get pixelated. You can increase the size of the image and it's not going to get pixelated, and then you save a version that you can put on a t-shirt or a huge poster, so no matter how big that poster is, it's not going to be pixelated. With raster files, if it's not vectored, it's going to be pixelated depending on the file size and how big it is originally. But if you keep expanding it, it's going to show some pixelation at the edges, which is not going to look good. So this is kind of like a professional practice thing. As you can see, you kind of figured it out. You click on, and once you hit the gradient, you go there. You can play around with the gradient here. So if you have a gradient on the logo is something, and you want to vectorize that logo because maybe you created that logo as a vector file, to bring it in here, you want to get rid of that gradient, so you can just create the gradient here. Now there are people that create the whole they come up with the whole logo and design the whole thing here on Illustrator, but I like to have my foundations created in Photoshop. Again, if your logo was like one flat color, then one image trace thing and you'll be done. Just make sure you change the type from black and white to color. And if the logo was a flat black, then one image trace and you're done. But again, it's something that you can play around with logos and how they look in certain times and certain spaces. But as you can see, for the most part, we're done here. Again, I'll leave it like an observational thing, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, because I know not too many people are interested in this kind of stuff. I'm just kind of showing you guys what happens behind the scenes. That's not all the fancy stuff. That's not all the drawing. It's not always drawing a comic page or drawing this and drawing that. There is an element of graphic design you need to know. There is a basis, certain understandings you need to like be aware of, certain things you need to know how to do, certain terms you need to be familiar with, softwares that you need to know how to use at least to execute the things you want to do. As you can see, I think I might doing it from scratch again. Anyways, but certain things you need to know how to do. You need to understand the basis of Illustrator, basic Photoshop skills, Clip Studio, Manga Studio. Clip Studio and Manga Studio is the same thing. You can just get Clip Studio. I think Clip Studio Paint. I think that's the best one to get in my opinion, because you can do some animation stuff in there. You need to understand the basic stuff about animation. Then there's like the writing aspects of things. So I'm just showing you guys all this stuff to let you guys know that it's more than just drawing. Right? You want to create your comic, you need to create your logo, you need to know all the things you need to be, all the things you must do to create that logo. So here, again, you need to understand how vectors work, and without some basic Illustrator knowledge and how the layers work and how the art blocks and things like that work, is going to be very difficult to do. Obviously, some of these things are things where you can hire someone else to do, but it's always great to know how to do it yourself. So you see here, again, you just change, because the gradient is going in a different angle than I want, so I'm gonna have to change the angle of that gradient, because right now I think maybe it's a 90, and I'm gonna change it to like a minus 270 or minus 180 or something, just to make sure that the dark is coming from the bottom. You can see here it's coming from the sides, but I'll change that eventually. So yeah, that's it for this video. You know, I think I already did this. If you guys are interested, again, so me doing it twice is just like a bonus. But I will do this for the same thing with the spine logo or any logo that I'm working with. It's more difficult if like gradients are involved. But if the logo was a flat, right, we would have been done a long time ago. If there weren't any gradients involved, once you hit the image trace at the top, then you click on the image trace, open up the image trace window by hitting Windows at the top, then go to image trace, and then you change things from black and white to color. You can also mess around with the threshold, and that's just, you know, how many colors should show, how many colors shouldn't, and things like that. It's a little complicated. Illustrator, trust me, is in my opinion, from my experience, the more complicated program compared to a Photoshop or a Clip Studio or a Paint Tool side and things like that. And you know, sometimes you might have a raster file that's big enough where you might not need to vector, but trust me, 9 times out of 10 you'd want to vectorize your images. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. The next video that I have coming up will be an announcement video. Not an announcement video. The announcement video, finally, I think I have all the footage and the art's done, and that video is getting ready to you know, come up. But the next video I think should be a special, because we hit 80,000 subscribers and I want to thank you guys for that. Hopefully we continue to grow. This channel continues to grow, and I'd like to thank you guys for liking the videos, leaving comments, and all that stuff. But yeah, more art-oriented videos are coming. More fan art-based videos are coming. So y'all can leave ideas where you want me to take this channel, because I want it to grow. I want it to continue to grow faster and things like that. All the support on Apple Black, my comment for those who purchased Volume 1, I'd like to thank you guys for that. A lot of people have purchased the book, and I'd like to thank you guys for that, and having like a physical copy, or you bought the digital. Just a big thanks. Also, thanks for supporting Saturday AM. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, check my social media. Thank you. So WhytManga, and I'm out. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe!